Lakers season over after AD's latest injury?
I know, Jen, at the top of the show, I sounded optimistic, but I'm going to let the audience in on a little secret. That was just for suspense.
You're not.
That was just to whet your appetite, all right, and draw you in. I do think it's over, Twan, for the Lakers. I hate to say it. You always think in the back of your mind, but LeBron. But looking at this realistically, I think they're done. Because we know it's not going to be 4 weeks. They're going to reevaluate him in 4 weeks, see if the treatment is going the right way and all that. I think it's going to be at least 6 weeks. So let's say he's back in 6 weeks. That's April 1st. He will have missed 18 games during that time. 12 of those games are against playoff teams. Remember, as bad as the Lakers have been, they have had a light schedule. And going forward, they've got the toughest schedule remaining in the West. So I think without Anthony Davis, their defense is going to remain horrible. They can't stop anybody at the point of attack. AD was helping because he's such a good rim protector, and he would bring deterrence in the paint. But now when he's gone, guys' defenses are going to be, or offenses are going to be getting by them and having their way with them. And then, Twan, the extra workload is going to put on LeBron. You can't tell LeBron go out there and just play 34 minutes and just try to keep us afloat. LeBron is going to go all out. He's going to play 37 minutes or more maybe now that AD's not there. So what type of toll does that take on his body? I mean, we just saw him get back from injury. So he already has said that knee is not going to heal. That is the only thing is going to help it is rest. So will that knee be able to stand up against the extra workload, Twan? So I hate to say it. I think they'll still get in the play-in or maybe the playoff. But I think their chances of really doing something this season are over, Twan.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I have to agree with you, Chris. The season's probably over because the expectations are to win a championship. They're not at championship level. They're going to probably be in the play-in game when you think about 24 games left, up 4.5 on San Antonio, who's right there behind them. So they'll be in the play-in game. And its unfortunate part is that LeBron James is having such a monster season, and it's going to go probably for a waste because they're not going to be able to make a deep run. I just think AD being out 4 weeks, and for somebody else, I would say, yeah, but for him, and you see those list of injuries, his pain tolerance, his urgency to come back may not, we don't know what he's going to do. You think 6 weeks, obviously the Lakers are going to probably try to push him to get back in 3 weeks. He probably don't, so we don't know where AD's at, where his mind is at right now. But it's unfortunate because we didn't get this chance to see this team play because of injuries. I know everybody's like, oh, this has been such a terrible season and tried to blame it on Westbrook. But if you really look at this team and look at it from top to bottom and dissect it, LeBron's missed 17 games, AD's missed 21 games, and Carmelo Anthony's missed 8 games. How do you expect to have a good season? It's actually great that they're 27 and 31 when you think about those 3 guys missing as many games as they have. So this is one of those seasons that they're going to probably have to really think about what are they going to do with AD. Obviously, you don't want to think, it's too early for that, but his injuries are killing them, and you can't get LeBron, you don't know how much more he has left. I'm never going to say, after seeing Tom Brady and LeBron, the way these guys are playing late in their career, I'm never going to count them out as how long they can play. But he's having an unbelievable season. We want to get a chance to see him carry this through deep into the playoffs.
Okay, but you don't think you think their season's basically over, Antoine. Broussard, you think the season is basically over. I think LeBron has got a puncher's chance. The question is, when does the puncher's chance not have a chance? So, Broussard, on my old mobile sports book, you know how I like the Orlando Magic. You can still bet the Orlando Magic, make it to the playoffs and win the championship. It's on the board. Nobody thinks it's going to happen, but it's on the board. Could you see a scenario where LeBron shuts it down? If he's had a few injuries this year, we've heard that his knee hurts. Is there a scenario, I think it's on the board now, that if they start looking up at the play-in, like, all right, if we really grind, we can make it to the play-in, to what end? So could you see LeBron taking extra care and extra attention to that knee, and shutting it down sounds like giving up, but let's say prioritizing his health. How about that? Could you see that happening?
You know what, Wilds? I had not thought about that. I had thought as Twine kind of started to go there, do you start looking to trade Anthony Davis? I thought maybe that, but I hadn't thought about LeBron shutting it down, but you're right. Like, I think they'll give it a few weeks and see if they can make a push. And if they, who knows? I mean, we didn't think they were going to come back and beat Utah once AD went down. So if LeBron somehow can carry them to a bunch of wins in the next few weeks, and then it's looking like, okay, they're starting to move up. 7th seed, the 6th seed is in sight. Things like that, I think he'll keep playing. But if it goes the opposite way and they're struggling and maybe they even fall, to the 10th spot or lower, then I think it makes sense to actually sit LeBron down. We saw him do it a few years ago. Remember, I think it was his first year in L.A. when he, came back from the groin injury and then said, you know what, we're not going anywhere. He shut it down and got some rest. Next year, they win the championship. So, yeah, Wilds, I think that is very much in play. And I think it would be wise of LeBron to do that. I know he's got his sights on Kareem's record, but if he plays next year anywhere near what he's doing this year, then he can still get that record. So I think that makes a lot of sense, Wilds.
Wow, that's a nice take. I like that. I didn't think about that as well. But LeBron James is Kareem. You just said it right there. He's on Kareem Hills for that scoring. And when you think about how he's playing on the offensive end, you're gonna wrap this thing out. This become when you're just a basketball player. I think LeBron's feeling really good about himself offensively. He's in a great groove. This is gonna take a lot to have him just shut it down. I think he would embrace the challenge of coming out to playing the playoff. If it got to be a play-in game and it'd be something challenging for him to try to do, I think he has respect for Melo and trying to see if they can make a playoff push, guys that are on his team in Westbrook. So I don't think he will just shut it down. I think those guys will play it all the way through, even though they're not in position or they're not team chemistry-wise to chase the Golden State Warriors, the Phoenix Suns, those teams that are headed in the championship mind frame. Right. So we'll be interested to see. I think LeBron James wants to play it out. At this point, he might as well play it out. Unless he has something really severe that it can damage even more, play it out. I think he's playing too great not to. I think this is great watching him play.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.